To understand why the demons requested to enter the pigs, we first need to examine the context in which this event occurred. The story, often referred to as the Gerasene demoniac, is found in the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke. In it, Jesus encounters a man who was possessed by a legion of demons, a term that suggests a great number, possibly thousands. This man lived among the tombs, was uncontrollable, and suffered greatly as a result of the demonic influence over his life. When Jesus arrived in the region of the Gerasenes, the demons immediately recognized his divine authority. They addressed him as the Son of the Most High God, a clear acknowledgement of his power over them. This moment reveals a critical truth. Even demonic forces cannot resist the authority of Jesus. But why then did the demons not simply vanish upon Jesus' command? Why did they request to enter a herd of pigs? The key lies in understanding the nature of demons as described in Scripture. Demons are spiritual beings that seek to inhabit physical hosts to manifest their influence in the material world. The man they possessed was their primary means of causing destruction, but when confronted by Jesus, they knew they would be cast out. They begged Jesus not to send them into the abyss, a term that appears in biblical literature to describe a place of confinement for evil spirits. Their request to enter the pigs was a desperate attempt to remain active, even if only for a short time. Additionally, the choice of pigs carries significant cultural and symbolic meaning. In Jewish culture, pigs were considered unclean animals, unsuitable for consumption or sacrifice. By choosing these animals, the demons may have been attempting to defile the environment further, amplifying their chaotic influence. Jesus, however, permitted this request, which led to the pigs' dramatic plunge into the sea and their subsequent death. This part of the narrative sets the stage for a deeper exploration of the nature of demonic activity, Jesus' authority, and the spiritual implications of this extraordinary event. It serves as a powerful reminder of the contrast between the destructive power of evil and the redeeming power of Christ. To fully grasp why the demons chose to enter the pigs, we must delve into their nature as described in Scripture. Demons are fallen angels, spiritual beings that rebelled against God and were cast out of heaven. Their primary goal is to oppose God's purposes and corrupt His creation. Unlike humans, demons do not possess physical bodies, which is why they seek to inhabit living beings, either humans or animals, to exert their influence in the material world. In the story of the Gerasene demoniac, the demons knew they could not resist Jesus' authority. When confronted by his power, they pleaded not to be sent into the abyss. This abyss, mentioned in both the Gospels and Revelation, represents a place of confinement for demonic forces, a spiritual prison where they are stripped of their ability to act. For demons, this would mean a total loss of freedom and influence, which is why they desperately sought an alternative. But why the pigs? The choice carries layers of symbolic meaning. In Jewish culture, pigs were considered unclean animals under Mosaic law, representing impurity and defilement. By choosing pigs, the demons may have been expressing their own unclean nature while seeking to further desecrate the land. This aligns with their destructive purpose to spread chaos and ruin wherever they go. Additionally, the act of entering the pigs could be seen as a strategy to provoke outrage against Jesus. The death of the pigs, a large economic loss for the local community, might have been intended to turn the people against him, distracting from the miraculous deliverance of the possessed man. The demon's choice reflects not only their desperation, but also their cunning nature, always seeking to harm and disrupt. Through this event, the narrative underscores a profound truth. Even in their rebellion, demons cannot act outside the sovereign will of God. Jesus permitted their request to enter the pigs, demonstrating his ultimate authority over all creation. This moment serves as a stark reminder of the destructive nature of evil and the boundless power of Christ to restore what has been broken. When the demons entered the herd of pigs, Their immediate reaction was one of chaos and destruction. The pigs, around 2,000 in number, rushed down a steep bank into the sea and drowned. This dramatic scene raises several questions. Was this merely a reflection of the destructive nature of the demons, or was there a deeper divine purpose in allowing such an event to occur? First, the mass death of the pigs demonstrates the true nature of demonic influence. While they sought a physical host to continue their work, their presence ultimately led to destruction. This emphasizes an important biblical principle. Evil, when left unchecked, brings devastation. The demons' actions through the pigs serve as a stark contrast to the restorative work of Jesus, who freed the possessed man from torment and brought him back to wholeness. Second, this event likely had a significant impact on the people of the region. The death of the pigs represented a substantial economic loss, as the herd was likely a valuable source of income. Some scholars suggest that this loss served as a test of faith for the local community, forcing them to confront what they valued more, their material wealth or the transformative power of Jesus. Interestingly, instead of rejoicing in the man's liberation, the people begged Jesus to leave their region. This response reveals how fear and misplaced priorities can lead people to reject divine intervention, even when it's clearly for their benefit. From another perspective, the drowning of the pigs can be seen as a symbolic judgment against the demons themselves. The sea, in biblical literature, often represents chaos and destruction, a fitting end for these forces of evil. By permitting the demons to destroy the pigs, Jesus not only demonstrated his authority, but also foreshadowed their ultimate fate in the final judgment, when all evil will be cast into eternal confinement. Ultimately, the death of the pigs reveals the stark contrast between the work of Christ and the nature of evil. While Jesus brings restoration and life, the demons bring chaos and death. This part of the story invites readers to reflect on their own choices. Will they embrace the life-giving power of Christ, or will they cling to things that ultimately lead to destruction? The story of the demons entering the pigs carries profound spiritual lessons that go beyond its dramatic surface. At its core, the event highlights the stark contrast between the destructive nature of evil and the redemptive power of Jesus. By examining the deeper symbolism and implications, we can uncover valuable insights for our own spiritual journey. First, this account underscores the immeasurable value of a single human life. The fact that Jesus allowed an entire herd of pigs to perish for the sake of one man's deliverance demonstrates that, in God's eyes, human souls are infinitely precious. It's a reminder that no economic loss, no matter how great, compares to the worth of a life restored and redeemed. Second, the episode reveals the relentless pursuit of evil. The demon's desperation to remain active, even through unclean animals, reflects the persistent nature of spiritual warfare. This serves as a warning to believers that evil forces constantly seek to corrupt and destroy, even in seemingly insignificant ways. However, it also reassures us of Christ's absolute authority over these forces. The event also challenges us to examine our own priorities. The reaction of the townspeople, who asked Jesus to leave after the pig's demise, exposes a common human tendency, valuing material possessions over spiritual transformation. This raises a crucial question for modern readers. What are we holding on to that might prevent us from fully embracing God's work in our lives? Finally, the drowning of the pigs can be seen as a visual representation of the ultimate fate of evil. Just as the demons led the pigs to destruction, so too will all forces of darkness be cast down in the final judgment. This serves as both a warning and a source of hope. While evil may seem powerful, its end is already determined by God's sovereign will. These lessons invite us to reflect deeply on the power of Christ, the nature of evil, and the choices we make in response to God's work in our lives. By understanding the spiritual truths embedded in this story, we are better equipped to navigate the challenges of faith in a world still touched by the presence of darkness. The story of the demons entering the pigs is more than a historical account. It offers timeless lessons that remain relevant to modern spiritual life. As we reflect on this event, several key takeaways emerge, providing guidance for understanding the nature of evil, the power of Christ, and our role in spiritual warfare. First, this story illustrates the reality of spiritual battles. Just as the man in the Gerasenes faced overwhelming torment, many people today experience struggles that go beyond the physical and psychological. Whether through addiction, destructive behaviors, or oppressive circumstances, the influence of evil is still present. However, the story reminds us that Jesus' authority is greater than any force we may face. His ability to command the demons with a single word reassures us that no challenge is beyond his power. Second, the event challenges us to prioritize what truly matters. The reaction of the townspeople, who were more concerned about their economic loss than the miraculous deliverance of the possessed man, serves as a cautionary tale. In our own lives, it's easy to place material wealth or personal comfort above spiritual growth. This story calls us to reevaluate our values, ensuring that we don't miss God's work because we are too focused on temporary concerns. Third, the story highlights the importance of spiritual vigilance. The demons' desperate search for a new host reminds us that evil doesn't rest. As the Apostle Peter warns, the enemy prowls like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. This truth encourages us to stay alert, rely on God's strength, and equip ourselves with spiritual armor to resist temptation and stand firm in faith. Moreover, the event serves as a powerful reminder of the ultimate victory of good over evil. While the demons caused destruction, their actions were limited and ultimately futile. This foreshadows the final defeat of all evil at the hands of God, offering hope that justice and restoration will prevail. Finally, the story challenges us to trust in God's sovereignty, even when we don't fully understand his actions. Why did Jesus allow the demons to enter the pigs? Why didn't he prevent the economic loss? These unanswered questions invite us to lean into faith, trusting that God's plans are always higher than our understanding. By reflecting on these lessons, we are reminded of the power and presence of Christ in the midst of life's challenges. His victory over evil continues to offer hope, restoration, and purpose to all who place their trust in him.